Welcome to Driveway Garage. Yesterday I worked on a 2006 Kia Sorento and it's really dirty. So I took the seats out and shampooed those, and I'll just give you a rundown of what I did. Hang on one second. Well, I'll just walk over there. It's just a few feet away. This is the vehicle. It's got some scratches on the side of it. And I think it needs a tensioner on the engine, so I got it really cheap. But the biggest problem, well, if I fix the engine, is the interior. Look at that. Now, I vacuumed it. It was worse. They used the cup holders as an ashtray. You can just see how filthy these people were. Carpets even had floor mats, but look at the back. It's like almost like somebody lived in this thing. It's really, really dirty. So this is give you an idea of what I'm up against. Well, the back actually is not too bad. The whole thing just stinks like body odor and cigarette ashes. There's the driver's side and the back seat and all the stuff. I don't know, it's almost like they lived in the car. And there's a whole bunch of cat litter and some cat food. I thought it was sand or gravel, but when I went to vacuum it up, it was cat litter all over underneath this seat, in the back. See how dirty that is? That stain there. I'm hoping I can get it out of there somehow. And all this stuff. But my goal is, and there's stuff spilled on there, and you can see down there how dirty that is. It's a pretty dirty vehicle. I'm going to say this is probably the dirtiest one I've cleaned. What I do is buy vehicles, fix things on them, and then clean them if they're, well, I used to pay $200 or $300 to have them detailed, and I got tired of doing that, so I do it myself. And these are the seats. They weren't near as bad as the floor, of course, but they weren't too good. They turned out really good. I see, if you get back at a distance, you can see a little bit of brown tinting on the front of that seat, so I may have to go over that one again. But all in all, they're not bad. I noticed this one, there's a little bit of brown spotting. And when you have cloth seats with that sponge and they're really dirty, sometimes when you're detailing them, it works down. Oh, there's some more there. It works under the sponge, and then as they dry, it surfaces again. So I'll just quick clean the surface again, and I should be able to get rid of those, and I won't saturate the seats like I did. But the process I used was, I took my spray electric pressure washer, and I put this blue tip on there. When you put the blue tip on it, it'll suck soap out of the soap canister, and it's supposed to be like a 20-to-1 ratio. And then I let them soak for a little while. And then I put this tip on, and there's like a ball bearing in here, I'm not really sure. You can hear it rattling, and it makes the water come out in like a mist, but it's got a lot of pressure. It's just not a steady stream. And I've used it on the driveway. It doesn't use near as much water as the yellow tip does. So I went over them really good, because the sides of these seats were just covered in junk. They were terrible. I wouldn't even want to touch them, but I had to. Anyway, so I went over the seats really good, and then I sprayed more soap on them and scrubbed them. Here it is. My cordless drill with that brush attachment. I scrubbed them down really good with that. And then I took my carpet shampooer. Of course, normally I use this in the house, but it has a attachment for upholstery, and it's only got one tank, and there's a bladder inside of there. So you fill the bladder full of cold or hot water, as hot as you have, and then as it gets, the dirty water goes back into the container, and it just displaces the clean water. So you only need one tank, not two. It's kind of nice. And it's got a fairly long hose on it. I don't know, probably 2, 4, 6, maybe 8 feet long. So I went over these really good and extracted as much water as I could. And it was supposed to be kind of nice yesterday. It rained in the afternoon, but it kind of sprinkled all day. But what I did when I got done with them, I put some cardboard underneath the carport over there and let them sit there because there was a little breeze blowing, and that helped dry them. And then I had to bring them in last night because that's where my son parks. And I parked outside. I brought them inside, turned my heater in my garage up to 70, put that fan on high, and I had them facing the other direction. And I let it run all night, and now they're really nice and dry. And they don't stink like cigarette smoke because the rest of the car does. Anyway, I just wanted to run that by you guys. If you have a pressure washer, you could do it with the garden hose, but that one tip on the pressure washer really, you could just see it stirring up the material. And it didn't damage it because it's electric. It doesn't have that much pressure, but it did a good job of agitating it. And then I used the electric brush. In fact, one of the seats, which is probably the one on the right, I don't remember, I didn't use the electric brush as much, and I think you can kind of see it. It's a little dirtier looking than the other one. Lesson learned, use the electric brush even though it's a little time consuming. Hope this helps somebody else out. And I'm going to do something similar on the interior. Take my pressure washer over there and start in one area, start spraying it down with soapy water, and then I'm going to brush the heck out of it. I may not use the pressure washer to wash it, just to apply the soap, because you can put down quite a bit of soap pretty quick versus one of those pump bottles. Anyway, that's my next project after I get rid of the service airbag light on that 2003 Envoy. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe.